Have you ever been watching a video and wondered how that was made? Whether it was a YouTube video, a music video, or a blockbuster film, every video took time to plan, to shoot, and to edit. Whatever you may be thinking when watching a video, understanding the basics of how that was made will lead you to a unique and exciting skill to have in a day and age when video production is becoming in much higher demand every single day. Anybody that has this skill, we call a videographer. Now, before we continue, my name is Carson Keller. I've been producing videos since 2014. What started with just a couple of friends led to making highlight reels for my wrestling team, eventually to playing a crucial role in producing a broadcast every single day for almost 2 years for my high school. Along the way, I've made commercials, silent films, music videos, and travel videos, and I've helped on projects like public service announcements, short films, and a reality show. In addition to 7 years of experience, I've also done extensive research to bring to you this topic today, which is 3 key factors that play into being a videographer. First, we'll talk about the need for the right mindset. Next, we'll talk about how to shoot a video, and finally, we'll learn how to edit a video. Now that you know more about me and you know about how to make a video, mindset is our first factor that goes into being a videographer. I learned about originality and the need to tell a story from Peter McKinnon, who is a videographer himself, a teacher online, and a YouTuber. Nobody is 100% original. Everybody takes inspiration from people they look up to, and that is okay to do. As long as you don't copy every single detail of somebody else's work, you are going to be okay. Jim Quick, who is a leading expert on learning, wrote a book and that talked about how to learn faster, and what he said in that book was that when you are learning for the purpose to teach someone, then you will remember more. And Peter McKinnon mentioned that when you teach others, you provide value and you will in turn become more successful. Next, we'll talk about story. Story is your most important, it is your purpose in making a video. A story has a beginning, a middle, and an end. And sometimes a videographer might get caught up in the exciting gear that is involved with making a video. And that's okay, gear is used to enhance your videos, but if you forget your story, your video is not going to be enjoyable and nobody will watch it. It's all just pointless fluff. Moving onward, nobody is 100% original, and your purpose is to tell a story. If you remember that, you will not become preoccupied with the gear, which leads me to my next point, which is how to shoot a video, which is your second and most important factor that goes into being a videographer. Shooting consists of planning your video and then recording your video. When you plan a video, you make what we call a storyboard. A storyboard kind of looks like a comic book, where every scene is drawn out how you want it to look. And so next is recording your video. All these angles you see here are used to enhance your video. Compile all these together and you will have a finished product. And hopefully that finished product will be used to tell your story, and it will give your audience better perspective and help them connect emotionally with what your video is about. The better that you can plan, the easier your shoot will go, and the easier your next stage will go, which is editing. Editing is our final factor of being a videographer. After you've sat down, you opened Adobe Premiere, you have made a new project, you've named it and you've hit OK, there are 3 things that you need to do. You need to organize your footage so that it's easy to find. You need to put your footage into a timeline, and you need to export it so that your video will be shareable. When organizing, you need to account for how many cameras that you used when you shot your video. You need to place your footage into individual files so that you can find it and easily place it into your project. Once you've imported your files into your project, you're ready to put them into your timeline. Sometimes your footage may be too long or too short, so you'll have to adjust it accordingly. When finished, you have to export so that your video can be shareable. To do this, you need to hit File, Export, Media. You need to look at Output, Name. You need to make sure it's what you want it to be. Click on it. Make sure it's saving where you want it to save. Click on the box next to Format. Select H.264. Click on the box next to Preset. Select High Bit Source. Hit Export, and once that's rendered, your video is ready to share. After you export, you're all done and it's time to wrap up. Today we talked about 3 key factors that play into being a videographer. The first is your mindset, which consists of remembering that nobody is 100% original and your purpose is to tell a story. Second, a videographer needs to know how to shoot a video, which consists of planning and then recording. Finally, a videographer needs to know how to edit their footage, which is done by organizing it, placing it into a timeline, and exporting it. Whether or not you've ever wondered how videos are made, they're a huge part of our lives here in 2021. They're an engaging form of communication we're just beginning to understand. And if you've listened to me today, you know what you need to get started. If you give it a try, you just never know. You might become the next big videographer. First, second, third, fourth, final.